Hello, everyone. Jess Clair here, coming to you for Curious with Jess Clair. And I'm just going to wait a second while people jump on. I'm very curious myself about this particular topic. Can you avoid people judging you? I'm curious to think what you think. So I'm just going to go in here and check this out. If you are jumping on, please do leave a message. Where have I got this? All right. I'm getting let know. Who have we got? Who's jumping on? I'm checking you out. Suddenly forgotten how to use Facebook. Please do say hello. Who have we got? Trish, Haley. I haven't been on in a while. I miss being on live. Let's see. Can we avoid people judging us? I'm curious. I'm so curious what people have to say about this. You might even be judging me right now. Judging the fact that I called it, are people judging you? Can you avoid it? What do you think? I miss you. Hello, Trish. Miss you too. It's been a while. So curious to hear what you guys think about this, because I'm going to tell you what I think, because that's what I do, right? Can you avoid people judging you? So here's what I reckon. Here's what I really consider. That's right. I think that everyone is judging you. Well, not just you, but everyone is judging each other at the same time, simultaneously, consistently, all day long. Right? That's what I want to say. I want to hear what you have to say about them. You know, James. Hello, James. The only person, exactly, James, let them judge. The only person's opinion of me that matters is my own. Actually, that's great. And I want to ask you, though, how realistic do you think it is that you can hold that view of yourself persistently, consistently over time? You know, so I'm just curious, you know, I think it's a really good, we say, you know, I only care about my own opinion of myself. But really, do we? Because realistically, you know, can we never care about what other people are thinking? Can we really? I'm curious. And if you've got the answer, James, I'd be very interested because I'm looking for the answers. So let's see, who else have we got jumping on here? Can we avoid this? So here's what I'm going to say about that. I'm going to say, oh, hello, Emily Shrapnel. I don't know if you're still watching. You probably jumped on and then jumped off. Hello, Brendan. Like I said, this is just going to be a short one. I'm going to say, can you avoid people judging you? So if you can't, yeah, sometimes other people's opinions do affect me. So if you can't avoid judging, you're aware that it's going to happen. And just as James says, the only person's opinion that matters is my own. Why isn't everyone out there just doing whatever then? For me, could work. Yeah. Why don't we just go out there and, you know, express what we really want to express? Why does it matter if we experience the experience of failure? Why does it matter if we have a bad day? Why does it matter if we feel anger? Why does it matter if we feel sadness? Because people are going to judge anyway, right? How come we have not got 8 billion people going out and expressing themselves the way that they really want to express it? Because we can't help the judgment. All that matters is our own. And what's going on? Curious. Very, very curious about what is going on. Because we all know this stuff. So I once did this. Are we curious? I'm asking you the questions. I'd love you to engage with this. Here's what I did these, you know, I do these amazing courses. So I'm going to have to, you know, share with you. Just like Sky says, why do we feel shit when people judge? I know, because we know it, right? It's a really good question. We are all human. It feels crap when people judge. we know people are going to judge, and I've actually confronted this myself just recently. I had a friend. I was sitting down with a friend, and so I'm going to assert this, and then I'm going to share this story. I would say because we've been conditioned, or maybe this is just me, my thoughts, we've been conditioned to kind of not feel the feelings that we really have around being judged and pretend like they're not there, because we've been taught to be strong and tough when actually we know that judgments are a part of being human. Like, we know that it's a part of being human. We all have judgments, but actually it's kind of hard to be with how much people are kind of judging and assessing everything all the time. So we kind of harden it, or what's the word? It's like we don't want to acknowledge it or experience it. So we hide it is probably what I can hear about this, right? What I think about this. Hello, whoever just said hello to me. Hi, Jess. I'm not sure who that is, but hello. Sky, I found that I get less and less triggered each time I'm exposed to judging. Okay, so the other day, I'm sitting down with a friend, and she's a very good friend, someone I trust, and I said something to her, and she stopped and went, "How come you just did that?" I can't even remember what I said, but I went, what's wrong with that? And then she said, "You've done that to me a couple of times where you just say like little jabby things, right?" And I went, "Did I? I didn't even notice that I was doing it." And she went, "Well, let's have a look." Now, immediately I felt confronted, right? Judged by her. And I'm like, I don't think I really did anything, but because she was so safe, and because I knew that she came from love, and because I knew that what she was really trying to do was have me see something that maybe I couldn't see, I allowed her to just go, maybe I want to have a look at why you're doing that. And I looked at what I said, and it was something about what someone else had said about her. And it was just like something really basic. But I said, "What was that like for you?" when I said it, and she said it really hurt. And immediately I got impacted by her being hurt. And then when we did some sort of like, discovering like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? I left it for a couple of days. And then I really had a look and went, I've grown up being told I have to be tough so much. And I mean, I think I've shared this with you before, but I'll share it with you again. I once fell down the stairs, and my grandmother, who was also a woman in the military, and, was like, stop your belly aching, as I'm sort of like there with broken ribs and cuts and everything, right? So it was very much a toughen up, don't feel things, right? So as I grew and developed this conditioning for being tough, and you probably still even see that in how I present now. Like it's like there's this toughness about me. There's this like confidence and toughness that's been conditioned into just the way I be now, right? And what I found is that I actually want to feel things. I love feeling, but I don't know how to. So the way I know how to feel is my brain almost creates scenarios where other people feel things, so I get to feel things. And I noticed that I had this pattern of that, jabbing, right? So I guess I'm curious to, see what you think about that, because I then started to consider that maybe our fear of judgment is because we judge ourselves so much. But actually, that judgment or not judging, or the whole back and forth, or the whole thing about this is that actually what we're seeking here through judgment is to connect. And what we're seeking is to feel. Like we want to feel, and we want to be able to express, and we want to connect, and we want the mess. But somehow we've been taught all our lives not to share how we really feel. Fortunately, I have a friend who shares how she really feels, but completely honors me as a human being. She doesn't need to get angry or upset or, shame me because I was just being. I wasn't even aware. And, I wonder. Hello, Haley. What do you guys think about that? Is this all just a ploy that we've been conditioned so much to be tough, that actually underneath all of this judgment is this need to feel? And the only way we know how to is to see other people feel things so we can feel. I mean, I don't know. That's just what I experienced, right? So hello, Kobe. Hello, Haley. What have we got here? Awesome observation. It really was. It's softened me even more. I think I'm getting more soft and more soft and more soft. And what's this? How you feel and how you make other feel is absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And imagine we judge what we haven't resolved in ourselves. Yeah, and I'm curious, actually, Kobe, good point. What do you think, though? Don't you think that we're all, like, our brain judges automatically? Like, there's this automatic judgment. And then there's the judgment I call that we put on loudspeaker. We all sort of had judgments. I think the judgment I perceive from others is because I judge those things in myself. Yeah, I think so too, that I expect for others, regardless of what they're actually saying. Yeah, I definitely experience that too. I have a fear of people reacting to me. I really do have this fear, and I notice that I want people to think well of me. And then I want people to think well of me, and then I have this fear of being reacted to. So if that's the case, and I'm avoiding being reacted to, and I got this fear of being thought well of, like, I'm constantly thinking, are people judging me, and then judging what they're thinking, and it's analytical, right? And I do a lot of work to make sure that I don't stay there. Curious what other people go through. Yeah, beautiful, Kobe. It's an enlightening moment that invites us to heal ourselves, connect to self. Beautiful. Yeah. I'm currently at this stage too. Yeah. And that I remember seeing this thing. Hello, Ashley. I remember seeing this person say, and I'm always looking for ways to have more and more people express themselves, right? All of it. Not just the good, not just the happiness and the enthusiasm and the positivity, which is important. I'm always looking for ways to express inspiration, to move people, to touch people, to inspire people. That moving, touching, and inspiring people does not only equal positive. It equals sadness. You can move people with sadness. You can inspire people with sadness. Courage is inspiring. And it takes courage to express one's anger in a positive way. I think that, I was talking, I'm running one of my 3-day courses at the moment in social media and business. And I was like, if everyone was actually expressing what they really wanted to express, we would have a different world, right? Oh, that's obvious, but I'm always interested in, why not? And then you look at social media at the moment, not just social media, but media in general. And I'm going to make a generalized statement here. But a lot of it is grabbing your engagement and trying to get you interested in things through activating your own anxiety. And I just refuse to do that at my social media school. I'm like, we're going to learn to engage people through touching them, moving them, inspiring them. Okay, and that takes work because we all know how to engage people through anxiety. Media has nailed it, right? But how do you engage people touching, moving, and inspiring them, right? So it's like, well, we have to learn ways to be vulnerable. We have to learn to express courage through different emotion. We have to learn to express sadness in productive ways. We have to, like, all the gamut of emotions, right? So I'm just curious, if we're so worried about judgment, how are we going to test and learn this stuff? I've been criticized a lot because I don't always get it right, but I'm always in the experiment of it, right? I'm just curious. I try not to accept others so I can create. So I create what they'll judge, but I should just be my authentic self. I know it's a tough one. I get it. Because it's always like, well, who is my authentic self right now as well? So we're judging quite a lot in the moment. I have an expectation that people react to me, which creates it. Yeah, absolutely. That's the same with me. It's like, I don't want to upset people. So inadvertently, I'm acting in ways that are, unfortunately sometimes upset people because I'm avoiding it so much. Hey, hon. Hello, Linda. Feel connection and openness with others, no matter what the connection is. Human intrigue. Very lovely. It's a less than mentality. Absolutely. When we judge, we're not coming from a place of love. Like your friend who shared an observation was not judging. She was just being a mirror for you. She was. And she even said to me, do you know how I know that you might be doing that? Because I do it myself sometimes. She was able to connect with me over, I'm like you. You and me are the same. I am you, you are me. I realize that in trying to please and appeal to others, I move too far away from who I am. I know, I feel the same as well. I also think it's a constant discovery. It's almost like every moment is a new discovery of myself. I'm curious. It's like, so in the worrying about being judged, it's almost like I have to accept that I do worry about it, but at the same time, always be committed to expressing myself. So somehow in the middle of all of that, I just continue to stand for expressing myself and acknowledging that worry about judgment is kind of always there too. Am I worried about judgment? I think it's human to be worried about it. I don't let it stop me. And then sometimes I do, but I notice it quite quickly. So don't let it hold me back consciously. No, I don't think you do, Sky. Do you think judging is innate? I do. So I was in this course once and they said to me, stop thinking. And then they sort of said, see if you can stop yourself from thinking. And I was like, what do you mean? And then she went, your thoughts are just thinking constantly. You're responding to stimulus constantly. So you walk around and there's a door, and then you see a door, and like you're constantly, your brain is actually this incredible machine that notices things constantly. It's always assessing data when you're walking across it. It's like making determinations about people, things all the time, blah, 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 blah. Like it's always happening. So your brain is judging whether you're there or not. You're almost not required. Okay. So your brain is judging. Try and stop it judging. You can't. It's going to. It's having it like I can hear my brain even now going off about this light in my eyes because I've been looking at it all day. I'm like, okay, maybe I need to turn that light off, right? As I'm having this conversation with you, but maybe the key, and this is what I really believe, maybe curious, is that you tune into your own judgments so clearly. And this is what we might call self-awareness, that you can hear your thoughts like I did so clearly that you get to identify them, be aware of them, and then you choose whether or not they become an expression of you or not. So, am I sometimes around, what's a form of discrimination for me? My judgment of, people showing emotion. Do I get impacted when people in front of me show emotion? Yes. I grew up in a tough family. Toughen up. Do not feel your emotions, right? So I grew up with that. So when people express emotion, I do experience a judgment about it. And sometimes I don't catch it, right? So I do experience that. However, I've grown my awareness to hear that so much, particularly because it's a judgment of myself as well, that I hear it really clearly. So it's heard. It's like, actually, I hear the conversation and then I get to put it aside and I get to act who I really am, which is someone that is about leadership and love and connection and intimacy. And when I say intimacy, what I mean is intimate conversations and like real, raw, real conversations, authentic conversations about what's really going on for people, not surface level, right? So, it's a new discovery for me in every breath. It is. I don't think we ever stop judging. And there was this, we never stop judging. Other people never stop judging. And no matter what you do, people are going to judge you. And it's human. So we're all doing it all the time. And then there are some people that are aware, so they get to interrupt their judgments and be who they really want to be. And then there's some people who are not aware who actually put their judgments on loudspeaker. And all of it is still okay. It's a part of being human. And what I've noticed is the more awareness I have of my own judgments, the more compassion I have for people who may not have the awareness, because I have in the past been that little jerk that's put and sprayed my own judgments over people. Oh my God. And probably still do. Who have we got here? Hello, Ashley. Oh, I've missed these conversations too. I love these conversations. Thanks for inviting your mates. Hello, Catherine Wheatley. So there's one thing, this one, I almost want to put this YouTube video on. It says people are going to judge you no matter what you do. So you might as well give them something to judge you on that you like doing. So if you go out into life and everyone's judging you no matter what, except you're not living the life you really want to live because you've got some idea that eventually the people are not going to judge you and then you'll live the life you really want. Or if you go into life and go, well, people are going to judge me no matter what I do anyway, so I might as well choose the things I really want to do, which is why I'm such a big advocate for being an entrepreneur, is that you go out and you create the life that you want. People are going to judge you anyway. We discussed this in my courses today. No matter what you do, people are going to judge you. You cannot avoid it. And no matter what you do, maybe, possibly, you're going to judge people. How quickly you interrupt that and actually speak you speak through your own values and what you stand for, whether that be leadership, love, connection, whatever it is really the game. It's not that you can avoid that your brain has a survival function and will be trying to keep you alive. And that part of being alive is identifying things that potentially are unsafe. I do love these conversations too. So it says, amen. I experienced me a few years ago this week. I was able to be super compassionate whilst also not taking on board their perception. Absolutely. And this is a constant, this is almost like, this is why I call things games. In games, we practice, we train. The game of life, you practice, you train. What are we practicing and training for? Are you practicing and training for that one day people are going to validate and think that you're okay and not judge you, and so you keep trying to keep up appearances and fit in and look good? Are you training for that game? Or do you want to train for the game called, how do I be fully expressed? How do I be my authentic self? How do I interrupt my judgments? How do I really, truly connect and get really deeply intimate with people? And when I say intimate, because that word is funny, I mean have these raw, real conversations, find out what's really happening in people's lives. When you play that game, you're in the practice of that. You're finding new ways. You might fail, but you're actually trying and experimenting on things that maybe might make more of a difference. It is. Situational awareness keeps you alive. It does. It is important. We want to love our judgments. Or someone said to me, you want to have judgments. You don't want your judgments to have you. We all have judgments. So, that's all I really wanted to talk about today. I just really wanted to jump on and talk to that. There's a few people talking about whether we can avoid this, and so I wanted to get on and say that. Also, we have the very first human business event coming up. It's a challenge. I have a judgment about the challenge that it is to organize an in-person event with COVID. It's Shelley, it's okay. It's G. She'll probably get a lot out of it. I'm basically channeling the divine. Okay. But thanks, Jess Pizza. Thank you. But I have a human business event coming up in Brisbane, the very first one. I want to get these people together that are committed to humanity-led business. I want people to be exposed to these epic humans that are creating these heart-centered, people-orientated, human-orientated, leadership-orientated businesses in all sorts of different ways. But unfortunately, we're limited to 10. So I'm half thinking I do it online, but I don't want to have another online event. I do, but not the first one. So the first one's potentially going to be 10 people. But we have to push on, okay? I've got to stop putting this off because of this stupid COVID. So anyone in Brisbane, I would love you to come to the 1.0, and then we are going to do an online event and make it super cool. I haven't worked out how we're going to do it. If you want, we can stream it. It's probably, if there's only 10 people, we probably could stream the event. And I just find streaming events can be a bit funny. That's all. They're not as, I'm all about value, you know that, Sky. So I don't like doing anything unless it's done really well. So let me have a think about it. 10 is a great number. It is, but it's like max 10. So it's just going to be me and then 9 other people. So there's no support crew or anything. It's just going to be 10. COVID is not stupid. I'm not going to get into judgments about COVID. I am limited and I'm all about doing things in the system. I'm not about breaking the rules. I'm about doing it. So maybe we should do it online. I don't know. Geez, now I might be convinced out of it. Let's just stream it live and people can watch. We could potentially do that. But again, I'm needing someone on the cameras to make it great. Thanks, Shelley. But anyway, I'm getting into the random stuff. But we are going to have a 1.0 launch. Everyone needs to see these epic humans. You guys are a part of that. Everyone tuned in here. You know, what I would love is to just have it so, you know, we've got like 100 people or 50 people, but in person is cool and it's a new thing, you know, but somehow we're going to work it out because, you know, I want you guys exposed to these incredible people doing incredible work so you can see yourself. This is a journey, and people wanting to become entrepreneurs. It does take something. And keep this conversation of what it is to live a humanity-led business, you know. So, all right, Ashley's like, do it online. So maybe we should do it online. Oh, I just want to touch people again. It sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? I mean it. I don't like that, but you know, maybe it'd be good to do that one day. Anyway, it's been lovely to catch up with you all again. And maybe I'll just have to have an event space and do 50 in Brisbane and stream it and make it cool, because I just personally don't do events that aren't really good. So I want to touch people too. I know, right? So anyway, it's been lovely speaking to you all again. Linda, Sky, Jennifer, Ashley, Shelley, Loretta. It's great to have you guys on. I will let you know when it's going to be. It was going to be the 30th of September, but then I found out about the 10 limitation. I'm like, ugh, you know, maybe we'll make it at an event space and have it be 50, but I've got to find an event space that will carry us. So I want it to be my house, which is a partial event space, but My place can fit 50. I know, but at a home, the limitations are 10. I can't do, I know I can't, I've got to make this valuable, right? It's got to be value. So I love you all. Thank you all for tuning in. And until tomorrow, I've got Evolution Solutions. I do have the humanity-led business summit, which is next Wednesday. This is really an introduction to the social media school and everything that we are creating in humanity-led business, giving people the opportunity to explore our courses and what's possible in our courses. So you can absolutely come to that. I'll be advertising it in Human Business soon. And of course, then there's the Human Business Networking event, which is really where everyone gets together and empowers each other as a community in humanity-led business. So thank you, guys. Have an amazing evening, and I will talk to you guys soon. You can do this. Thanks, Ashley. Take care.